I want to introduce you to Elisa. Elisa lives in Finland. We have a fabulous group of members in Finland. It's basically because one person started 9 years ago, and then he decided that he wanted a bunch of friends and colleagues in the program. So now we have quite a center of excellence in Finland around responsibility. And this is Elisa's website, Developerhood. So if you want to learn more about her, she's a communication coach for developers. And this says, my goal is to help 1,000 developers reach new heights. The count is now 53. So Elisa, thank you. And I look forward to your story about how responsibility thinking has affected your world.
Hi, thank you, Christopher. It's nice to be here. The count is actually now about 75, I think, but I have forgotten to update the English website, which is kind of embarrassing. I was really thinking about what to share, and like Christopher said, my job is to help technical experts communicate better. And since they are very engineer-like people, in order to be able to do that, I need to be fully aware of my own mental states, my own ego, my reactions and all that. And that's what got me into the immersion program last fall. But I don't think that's what I got out of it at the end of the day. Well, at least that's not all that I got out of it at the end of the day. For me, probably the biggest and most annoying lesson was to realize that anytime that I want somebody to act differently, I want them to behave in a certain manner, I'm actually blaming them for not being the way I want them to be. So instead of accepting people as they are, whenever there's, for example, a very common example, my spouse and I are very different. He's very technical, he's very engineer-like. And I'm from the humanities, so all about emotions and stuff. So whenever he is acting, responding, behaving in a manner that's not mine, I start thinking like, why is he like that? How come he cannot? Why wouldn't he? That's annoying. And to be able to catch myself in the moment and realize that I am actually blaming him for being who he is has been really super difficult and super powerful. It has transformed most of my relationships, not just with him, but with my friends, with my colleagues, previous colleagues, with my customers, with my family members, because we do that all the time. Like, we tend to want people to behave the way we want them to behave, and we don't want them to be the way they are. And that's not very helpful, and that's definitely not the way to make them behave like we would want them to behave. Very everyday life example. And maybe the biggest lesson in that is that most often it's my own ego that is preventing me from getting what it is that I want or need. So an everyday example, I was feeling a little bit blue, so I locked myself to our bedroom, and I was just sort of hoping him to come in and comfort me without actually telling him to come there to comfort me. But then he came in for some reason, and I was asking him that whether he would hold me for a moment, and he did crawl next to me and hold me for about 5 minutes, and then he said like, well, that was a good nap, and then he took his phone. And I was ready to kill him on the spot. Like, I'm feeling really bad, and he's supposed to comfort me, and now he's there just sort of going through Twitter. And what I would have done pre-immersion, I would have simply stormed out of the room, or just pouted there, sighing like loudly, and trying to make him realize that he's being an ass. But now I realize that I am here trying to make him behave differently without even telling him what it is that I need or want. So it's my own ego that's stopping me from saying that, hey, could you hold me a little bit longer without the phone, please? And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what he did. And I was happy and he was happy. And no pouting or sighing or storming out of the room. So the fact that most often it's ourselves that are standing on our own way, on our own happiness, that's been the most powerful part of immersion for me.
Wow. Thank you, Elisa.
No problem.